So as you know, Melissa is the strongest ever hurricane to have affected Jamaica, and it has literally, and I'm not exaggerating, it has decimated large parts of the western end of Jamaica, particularly the parishes of St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland. But the extent of the damage extends well beyond the ground zero, the point at which it made landfall. Yesterday, we visited areas that are fairly remote from where the hurricane landed, and the extent of the damage was quite significant. So while there are efforts that are focused particularly on St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, um, there are a large number of communities in Jamaica that have been badly affected. They are without electricity, they are without running water. A lot of people's homes have lost roofs, or the homes have been completely damaged and they are in shelters. The recovery and relief efforts continue, and to date, I think 28 persons have been declared dead as a result of this hurricane in Jamaica. We also should not forget Haiti. The south of Haiti was also badly affected. A river broke its banks, and a lot of flooding took place. 25 people died as a result of that, and a lot of persons have been dislocated in the south of Haiti. So those are the two main areas affected in District 7020 by the hurricane, the western side of Jamaica and the south of Haiti. So that's just to provide some background for discussion.
Bill, is financial support the biggest thing that we can help with right now?
Thank you for that question, Dale. So yes, you know, in the past, people out of the goodness of their heart have sent a lot of you know, things such as clothes and other things that may not necessarily be what is most needed. And I know, based on experiences in Haiti, in the past, some things have been sent that literally shut down the economy. And so when it comes to relief and recovery, I believe money is the best option. The eastern end of the island is open for business and commerce. And so in terms of supporting the local economy as well, you know, the eastern end of the island is able to supply some of the equipment needed and materials needed for rebuilding. But, you know, DG Dale, this is a marathon. This is not going to be a sprint. This is something we're going to be in for the long haul.
Bill, you mentioned many people were without electricity and running water. Do you have the ability to get bottled water from the eastern end of the island to those who need it on the western end?
Yeah, so one of the things we did last year when Beryl affected southern Jamaica was the Rotary clubs had organized for water water to be shipped to the areas or busting. And so that's something that, as part of our immediate relief efforts, can be organized. We can organize for trucks to bus water to the areas that are badly affected. And as I said, we did that last year when Beryl affected the island, the southern part of the island. So,
and the eastern area can produce enough water for the needs of the western area?
I believe so, JLo, definitely.
Okay,
I believe.
good. And then is Shelter Box on the ground at all? Are they helping to supply any materials or any needs there?
I'm going to ask our PAG, Mike Terrelong, to answer that question. Mike is leading our recovery efforts in the district. Mike is on the call.
Thank you, EG, and thank you everyone for thinking of us. Yes, to answer the specific question, yes, we are in contact with Shelter Box. Actually, there are various departments of Shelter Box in various countries, and they've all been in contact with us. And I was just replying to an email. Some of them are on site in Jamaica as we speak. We're still waiting receival of some supplies that they shipped from Barbados last Friday, and there are other supplies, and we're actively coordinating with them. DG Bill, they just wrote us that they have 5,000 kits that they want to put in our hand as soon as they can get them through our ports.
Okay, that's great news.
Bill, my name is David Manns. I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Asheville.
Hi, David. Hi.
We literally feel your pain. This is something we just went through. And I understand completely what you say when you talk about not sending things that aren't needed and how that can really derail and take away from the efforts. We experienced that, especially in the beginning as well. So I don't want to do that, but I do want to offer up something that if it's helpful, and someone may have been in touch with you or Michael or Paige Scott, who's our district governor elect. I know has been working with her counterpart there in 7020. But we have approximately 3,000 water bags that can carry filtered water from one location to another. They're in various sizes, ranging from 1 gallon to, I believe, 5 gallons. And they're already purchased and paid for. They're things that we have left over from when we didn't have water in Asheville for 2 months, drinkable water. So those are available, and we can get them to you, and they're already paid for. And then we also have, if there are funds that are needed for something like that, we have a company here that manufactures those and is willing to provide almost 10,000 similar bags at cost, at her company's cost, to y'all, if that's helpful. But again, we don't want to move on this unless you think it's would be of help. So I just want to let you know that's there. And if you want to comment, fine. If you want to give me an instruction about who to talk with, but I wanted to throw that out there.
Dave, it would absolutely be of help. Drinking water is one of the things that is badly needed in the event of a hurricane of this nature that has caused so much devastation. So yes, a resounding yes. Drinking water is something that we would appreciate.
Okay. We have a contact with an organization called Wine into Water, and they're going to be coming down. If they're not there already, we can see if we can get them to you through them, or if there's someone that I can be in contact with about how to get those to y'all. Just feel free to let me know.
Sure. Thank you, Dave.
Kevin, if I could add that that'll be a big help to us. In terms of water, what we need to understand about Jamaica is that there are vast quantities of water, good water, around the island. There are huge aquifers, rivers. All those rivers are contaminated because of stuff that has come down. So water filtration equipment systems, as we work with Shelter Box, their Sawyer filter sort of modules, even small modules, are very valuable to make use of the existing water that is there that can't be drunk at the moment.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you.
Governor Bill, this is Terry Atkins.
Hi, Terry. Good to see you. Good
to see you, and good to hear your voice. Not to put too much of a personal aspect on this, but you're part of our family. So what do you need? What does Michael need? What does Carice need? What do our Rotarians on this call in 70/20 personally need? Because we cannot overlook that you need to be taken care of so that you can take care of others. What can we do to help the three of you?
Thank you. Thank you for that question, Terry. So Carice and I live in the eastern end of the island. And to be honest, we were not badly affected at all. Minor leaks here and there, nothing to speak of. PAG Mike, on the other hand, is from the middle of the island in a place called Mandeville. And Mandeville did suffer pretty extensive damage, not to the same level as St. Elizabeth. So in terms of there are communication needs. One of the things that really caused a lot of anxiety was that initially we could not get through to our Rotarians in the western end of the island. We didn't know what was happening to them. And given the severity of the hurricane, we were very worried that people could have suffered tremendous personal injury and so on. But thankfully, so far, thankfully, we have not heard of any Rotarian who has been harmed by the hurricane. PAG Mike, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not aware of any personal injury. But I am aware of Rotarians who have suffered significant damage to their homes and who are dislocated. In the eastern end of the island have been trying to visit with those in the West to see how we can help. So I do appreciate your question, Terry. And in terms of specific needs, if there are any from the Rotarians in the western end of the island, I will certainly let you know.
Thank you.
I think DG Bill covered it well. What is important for us is that we're in it for the long haul, and the needs will develop over time. At the moment, there are existential needs, housing, water to drink. There's some talk about looting, but don't be dismayed by that. If you had drunk water for 4 days, you would open up a door and grab a bottle, right? But the needs will evolve, and it will take some time. The impact on our society, on our country, may take a generation to remedy. It's their long-term issues. Our electricity grid, our main high tension grid across the island, is seriously damaged, and that causes a lot of other issues like water. We need electricity for the pumps to go for the telecom. So our needs will develop over time, and Rotary is always known as the people who stick around long after the media has gone, rebuilding communities. So we are so glad for all your support as we go forward.
And let me take the opportunity to echo that and what DG Bill has said. We visited some of the locations yesterday, and we really had to connect with persons to encourage them as well. And one thing I can say though, despite the effects of the hurricane, the Jamaican spirit is still with these people. They're surviving and they are making the best of the situation. And it is encouraging when you go to these places and they have no home, but they're adapting as they go along and their spirits are there and it's high. It's what encourages us. And we spent the afternoon with them yesterday and we gave them care packages. And what we have to be doing now is to garner a list of things that are needed that would be impactful for the short term and the long term. So we have to be very targeted in our approach. We don't want to come in and give relief upon relief upon relief, and they can't use the things that are being provided. So we have Rotarians who have lost their roofs, but again, access is another thing. We can't go in with the lumber and whatnot because the roads are impassable. The power lines are down, trees are in the road, and what normally takes a 2-hour journey, it's now 3, 5, 6 hours. We left out minutes to 7 yesterday in the morning, and we came back almost midnight with something that normally takes 2 hours because the journey is so treacherous because of what has happened. So we are here for the long haul, as PAG Mike says and DG Bill has said. We will continue to do what we need to do as Rotarians in these communities and beyond. And when everyone has gone, we will continue to be there to encourage, to lift, and to rebuild.
Did Montego Bay suffer much damage?
Absolutely, it did. So JLo, as Carice just mentioned, the Rotarians in Kingston made a trip down to Montego Bay yesterday,
Okay.
and we visited with PDG Harish and AG there. And yes, Montego Bay has suffered extensive damage. Obviously, not as much as Ground Zero, but enough damage to put out electricity, water. People have lost their roofs, power lines are in the road. So yes, our main foreign exchange earner, tourism, has been very badly affected. So and a lot of persons who work in the tourist industry, the persons who work in the kitchen and in housekeeping and so on in those communities, they have lost roofs and so on. And so our tourist industry has ground to a halt.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was thinking, because Montego Bay would probably be closer to Ground Zero, but I didn't know what kind of damage they suffered themselves.
quite extensive damage.
Yeah.
Jeanette, there's a video that's been on Facebook of the Montego Bay Airport, and you just watch the water rushing into the airport seating areas and on the ground. It took my breath away when I saw it.
Yeah.
Bill, is Harish okay?
Yes, Harish is okay. Unfortunately, just before the hurricane hit, his mom fell and broke her hip, and she had to have surgery literally hours before the hurricane hit. She's currently in ICU recovering, not doing so well. As you know, Harish just lost his dad,
Yeah.
and so he is under tremendous stress. So reach out to him if you can. I think he needs all the support we can give him.
Okay.
Governor
Thank
Bill
you.
and the rest, Carice and all that are there, just want you to know that I was sitting in your place a year ago. I know it's hard. If there's anything that you need from us in terms of our experiences, anything we can do to help, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. You will get there. I know you know that, but maybe to hear from somebody who's just been through it is helpful. And we're there for you no matter what you need. Please know that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
you.
See you, Bill.